At times, on a quest to find our way in this world, we neglect love while we nourish our ambitions. We often forget that love is also of great importance. This is the story of Mira, who ran away from home for fear of getting married. But when a fake marriage brings her back home because of access to her inheritance, she discovers that love might be in store for her at home. In the opening scene of Arranged Love, two couples are seen in a compound in the capital city of India, Mumbai, trying to convince a young lady named Mira to meet with the family of the guy she is getting married to, a guy she has never seen before. Unknown to them, what she has in her mind is far more than that. She wants to be independent so that she can follow her dream, which doesn't include entanglement with the man. She has no feelings for the woman who happens to be her auntie, begs her to see the guy she is to get married to, because it's her mother's wish to get married, and she already vowed to ensure that happens. After much persuasion, she agrees to get married to the guy, but not to see him until marriage. This is not because she cares about the guy, but because of her mother. Throughout the polar deal, they don't know someone is watching them from the window of the groom's family house on the night of the wedding. Mira is presented with a necklace by Kavita, her auntie. While she dresses in her room, the necklace belongs to her mother and has been passed down from generation to generation, and also it is her mother's wish for her to wear it. Kavita's husband informs her that they should go and load the car and be on their way because of the journey to the venue. She agrees and promises to come back for Mira as she gets dressed for her wedding. Meanwhile, after they leave, Mira is rescued from this situation of getting married to her unknown husband and being unhappy with life by a man known as Suresh Kaka. He advises her to follow her heart, so she won't make mistakes immediately. He leaves her in the room and she locks the door and proceeds to write a letter for Kavita and her husband and also her groom, whom she has never seen. She throws her bag from her room to the balcony and jumps on landing. She meets an old man who blesses her. Kavita and her husband, who has struggled to open the door, call out to her, as they are surprised and disappointed by her action. She apologizes and runs away from India, leaving her inheritance behind, which is also part of why she is being forced to get married. 9 years later, Mira is now successful and owns a tech space in New York City. Seems running away from marriage, eventually paid off. She developed an app called Start Again, which is for erasing people's errors off social media. This means inappropriate and embarrassing posts to drive home her point and prove the effectiveness of her app. Mara decides to use Seal as of early, a rich young guy who is the potential investor, as her case study. She created a lot of embarrassing pictures about him and posted them on the internet this way. She can use the app to erase the pictures as her presentation. Easy, right? Well, not quite. While preparing for the presentation, she discovers that her friends and workers, Leslie and Piru, seem to have something going on with them which she finds weird. Mira's boyfriend is also there to give his support, but ends up embarrassing her by giving her a hands-on ABS kind of support right there in her office. Seal eventually arrives and arrogance is written all over him. He even refuses to shake hands nor eat or drink anything. But she doesn't mind. After all, it's his money she needs. The presentation begins, but doesn't go as planned, as all the pictures she and her team created earlier were published online, but her app can't erase them as proposed. Silas's phone blows up with notifications, and he angrily threatens to sue her if she doesn't get the pictures off social media at home. Worried, Mira tries working on the app, but her boyfriend distracts her with his weird exercise routine. He offers to help her, but he does not know her kind of job. The next day in her office, Mira tries to check what went wrong with her app but seems not to get anything. Her workers come in to explain they were hacked, and the only way to track it is to update their costly server. Also, most of their engineers dropped their 2 weeks' notice. The sad news is that the company doesn't have much money, so unfortunately, the only option given to her by her friends is to go home and claim her inheritance to save her company. This means marriage, the same marriage she ran from. She tries to protest the option but is left with no choice rather than to oblige. She puts in a call to her aunt Kavita and her